A ceasefire monitoring team has begun operations in the eastern DRC. This is the first mission under the Qatari-mediated peace deal signed last year between Congolese forces and the M23 rebel group. It includes members from the Congolese Army, M23, the UN peacekeeping mission, as well as experts from the International Conference on the Great Lakes region. The team is currently stationed in Minembwe in South Kivu province, which has seen a surge in fighting. Government and M23 representatives met in Switzerland last week, where they agreed to a roadmap for peace talks. The Doha deal is running alongside a U.S.-mediated accord between the DRC and Rwanda, also formalized last year. For deeper analysis, we are joined by Dr. Oluwole Ajewale, a senior researcher at the Institute for Security Studies. Doctor, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us here on Africa Live. First and foremost, how significant is this deployment, which is the first under the Qatari-led peace process? What do we know?
Thank you so much. I would say my optimism is cautionary, and that is based on the fact that one group negotiated the ceasefire and probably lacked the mechanism to enforce the agreement. And then another group, led by the UN mission, is the one that is now operating, that has ventured into the DRC now to go and monitor the ceasefire agreement. I think you will agree with me, as much as some of the viewers as well will agree with me, that there is a bit of incoherence in implementation of the peace agreement. And this is what I've echoed on the CGTN platform over the years, and is the fact that you need a coherent strategy. The African Union, the United Nations peacekeeping mission, the United Nations organ must be on the ground, not leaving the peace agreement negotiation to partners who probably have strategic mineral interest in the DRC, and not necessarily the final habitat that can drive the peace agreement in terms of its enforcement. I think this is what is happening, as we are seeing with the monitoring mission in the DRC now.
Well, Doctor, let's talk about that. I know you touched on it a little in your initial answer, but how will the mission determine whether a ceasefire is genuinely holding on the ground, considering the volatile security situation the monitors are expected to visit? Can you expand on that for us?
Interacting with the local resident on a daily basis, and the share media report that is coming from DRC clearly shows to everyone that there is no compliance to the ceasefire agreement ab initio, even before this monitoring mission is embarking on this journey. And it speaks to the fact that a lot of what we've seen in addressing the crisis in DRC, I would consider that it appears to be tokenism. And the reason is not far-fetched. If you look at our other conflict theater, the Russia one in Ukraine, the Middle East crisis, have attracted global attention. What we've seen in terms of the DRC is mere piecemeal. And that goes to show that the plight of the people who are being killed on a daily basis, who have been displaced, is not getting the sufficient global attention. And it is not in monitoring the peacekeeping agreement, the peace agreement. It is actually in enforcing the agreement. I think that is what is lacking. And that is why I answered you originally that I would rather express cautionary optimism about the current monitoring mission in the DRC.
So, Doctor, can a ceasefire hold if the underlying regional tensions, especially between the DRC and Rwanda, remain unresolved?
Well, it is a very rare assignment to see where peace agreement is just enforced on paper. Recently, there is a security contingent that is being put together, led by the U.S. government, to be deployed to the DRM, to Middle East. I've even seen report about Burundi and Uganda showing interest to be part of that mission. That is how you enforce peace agreement. You need deterrence. It is not just to be monitored on paper. You need the negotiator that has the capacity and the capital to enforce deterrence. And that is the reason why we have recommended for the opt-in time on this platform that the AU must be seen to be getting involved in getting the crisis in the DRC sorted, not outsourcing that responsibility to external actors who probably have commercial interest in the region.
Important points there, Dr. Oluwole Ajole. Thank you so much for your insight and analysis.